From the John C. Hinch Production Art Studios, it's Midstate Magazine with your hosts, Ricky Hendon and Melody Mercado. The latest news with Danielle Hemsky and Aaron Morden. Sports with Katrina Baumgartner and reporter Katie Crowley. Jalen Cook brings us State of the Arts. Kyle Peck reviews the movies in Get Real. Taylor Hurnett takes us about town. Chardonnay Mason reviews what's good in Let's Eat. Anna Tassi reviews the music scene in On the Beat. Jackie Myers is in the spotlight with current celebs. Emma Heth goes out with the street team. And Jenna Amico takes us backstage with About Crew. And now, from America's friendliest city, Midstate Magazine, with your hosts Ricky Hendon and Melody Mercado. Take it away, kids.
Once again, good evening and welcome to Midstate Magazine. I'm your host, Ricky Hendon, and we are back from spring break.
And I am Melody Mercado.
Hello, Melody.
Hello,
it's good
nice
to see you. It's been
nice
a while,
to see you too.
but
it has been.
We're back. Glad to be back. I love this place very much, Peoria. So anyway, we're gonna jump right into it. While not the biggest newsworthy topic for some people, a lot of celebrities, a lot of people have been posting videos about it on social media.
A lot of girls crying.
Over
Zayn Malik leaving the band One Direction. They've been around for about 4 or 5 years now, and they have been gaining a lot of popularity, especially with the younger generation. More particularly younger girls and, you know, some guys here and there.
They got some good songs.
Yeah, they have some good songs, you know, What Makes You Beautiful.
Lately I've been...
No, that's not what.
Oh, okay, different.
That's One Republic. But
I don't really know people.
Yes, there's been a lot of tears shed over this, even though I don't think it's really necessary. I used to be a huge One Direction fan, but I don't think I would cry over that.
So tell me about the celebrities. There've been a lot of celebrity tweets about this too, right?
There have been. Kanye West, of course, sticking his nose where it doesn't really belong.
Of
and, of course, talking a little bit of trash, but that's Kanye West for you.
Absolutely.
But now it's time to check in with the news team.
Good evening, and welcome to Midstate Magazine. I'm Aaron Morden.
And I'm Danielle Hemsky. Let's take a look at the news.
First-term Senator Ted Cruz of Texas announced he would run for president in the upcoming election. Many are relating his past to current President Obama's as he spoke of the determination of his immigrant father and the American dream when he laid out a case for his candidacy. Many of his ideas, though, are quite opposed to the president's, such as repealing the Affordable Care Act.
On Thursday, a judge ruled against releasing evidence from the chokehold death of Eric Gardner. The prosecutor in the case made much of the information about the Ferguson grand jury public, but the Supreme Court decided against the request for public disclosure sought by the New York Civil Liberties Union.
A Minnesota family is suing one of their local restaurants after their son died after eating 2 pancakes. The son was so allergic to dairy that previously traced amounts of dairy had sent him to the emergency room, so the family avoids dining out. The mother said she plans to sue the restaurant because she asked the cook if the pancakes were dairy-free, and he assured her they were not. They were.
A Florida Senate panel approved a bill that would allow guns on college campuses after a 6-3 vote on Monday. The decision was met with strong opposition from the campus community, including campus police. The Republican members of the panel responded to the opposition by saying that they see the bill as a Second Amendment issue.
Pay It Forward, a basketball fundraiser, was held on Sunday by the Men's Sunday Basketball League at Peoria High School. The money they raised from concessions and vendor booths all went to Peoria High School's athletic department and a basketball scholarship. Several Peoria native basketball stars joined in, including former Bradley University shooters Sam Singh and Daniel Ruffin.
Despite what you may see on the news and social media, crime rates in Peoria have actually decreased. Barrett Nicole has the story.
In 2010, Peoria had a record-tying number of homicides at 23, while only 7 homicides occurred in 2014. Officer Dave Buchanan gave us his thoughts on why this drop may have occurred.
Our biggest program right now we're doing is the Don't Shoot program, and we've got over 20 officers dedicated just to that program. The crime stats are down, the homicides are down, the shootings are down. Is it because of that program or not? The book's yet to be written. You like to think that it is. But I know last year, in my 20 years of working here, we had the fewest homicides we've had since I started.
Crime reporter Matt Budell offered some practical reasoning as to what could be causing this drop in crime.
From 2008 to 2010, 2011, the whole country was in a terrible recession. There's a connection between crime going up when people are on hard times. I think what also played a part was Peoria hired more police officers. More squad cars, more uniforms on the street is going to be a natural deterrent to crime.
Unfortunately, violence still does occur in our community. Lisa Nimmers of Peoria lost her oldest son, Dwight, to gun violence in 2012.
I didn't realize that that day he was at my house when he left. That would be the last day that I would actually be able to talk to him, touch him, hug him. Now everything, it's a picture, a few little keepsakes that, we had and just memories, and that's all that's left. I would just ask to please, I wouldn't want another family to go through what I had to go through. You wouldn't understand how devastating that is.
For Midstate Magazine, I'm Barrett Nickel.
Now let's go to Bob for sports.
That was a nice pack, Barrett. Thanks a lot for doing that. Former NFL star Darren Sharper pleaded guilty on Tuesday in Las Vegas to a reduced felony attempted sex assault charge in the third part of a 4-state plea deal that prosecutors say will put him in federal prison for about 9 years. Appearing by internet hookup from a courtroom in Los Angeles, Sharper entered his plea before Clark County District Court Judge Douglas Herndon, who scheduled sentencing for June 25th. He was sentenced to 9 years in the Arizona case and will face 20 years in the California case when he's sentenced July 15th. The California no contest pleas have the same effect as a conviction, and state sentencing rules will have him serve about 9 years. NFL owners have voted to prevent another Julian Edelman situation, giving a third-party power to stop a game if a player appears disoriented. Under the new rule, a spotter at the game would communicate with a side judge if it's determined a player is showing obvious signs of disorientation or is unstable. Neither team would be charged for a timeout, and teams can replace the affected player only during this stoppage. The opposition also would be able to substitute a player to match up. Bradley University has fired its coach Gino Ford, according to ESPN. Ford came under scrutiny in January when an Ohio appeals court upheld its decision when he violated his contract with Kent State in 2011. Ford accepted the position at Bradley while still under contract with Kent State. The school claimed Ford breached his contract and sued him for $1.2 million. Ford posted a 9-24 record this season, going just 3-15 in the Missouri Valley Conference. He amassed a 46-86 overall record and 1953 record in conference over his 4 seasons. He went above 500 just once. That's all for sports. Back to you, Danielle.
Thanks, Bob. It is found that women's jean sizes are actually quite inaccurate and can lead to body image issues. Shael Eddins has the story.
Body image, something that girls of all ages face. So why do women's clothing sizes add to this issue? I asked Chardonnay Mason to help me explore this topic of what really is your size.
When somebody asks me what size pants I wear, I usually say it depends, because at some stores I'm a size 0 and then other stores I'm a size 6. So I'm really excited to go undercover to explore this topic of what size women wear when it comes to pants. Oh, these are a size 1 and they fit pretty good. This one fits. I just had a hard time getting it up over my thighs. It's all right. A little too tight up here and too loose at the bottom. So far I've tried on a 00, a 0, 1, 2, and 3, and they all fit me. So I'm really not sure what size I am. These are a 0 and they fit great. These are 3 and they still fit good. I'm just a little confused about which size I really am. This does give me a little bit of breathing room, but you can barely tell. This is a 0. The 0 looks like the same size as the 3. Overall, all the jeans that I tried on fit me pretty well. So I feel like women's clothes need a more accurate sizing so that way I can determine what size I really am.
For Midstate Magazine, I'm Shayla Eddins.
Well, that's all for news this week. I'm Bob Jacobs. One comment. What kind of idiot gives her son pancakes when he's got an allergy to milk?
I don't know.
Well,
I mean, they're called buttermilk pancakes.
Yeah, right.
and they assured them it wasn't dairy-free, but I mean, it was
Well, that's
dairy-free.
all for the news. Thanks a lot. I'm Bob Jacobs.
I'm Aaron Morden.
And I'm Jill Haimsky. Have a great night, and be sure to join us next week.
Don't eat pancakes.
Thanks, news team.
So, let's go back to some of those police-related stories that we were talking about earlier, because I think that's really interesting. It's been kind of unique to see like how we've been polarized recently in this country because of a couple of recent cases with the Eric Gardner case, which they mentioned, and the Trayvon Martin case. And I just think it's important for us to kind of remember that a lot of these people, while it may seem that the justice system and police kind of are against us sometimes, a lot of these people put their lives on the line for us. And I personally got family members. My best friend's going to be in the force, so I just kind of want to remind people of that.
Yeah, I think it's really important, and it's really interesting to see kind of the shift and how people have come to view the justice system, especially the police department. I just think it's important to realize that they are here for us.
Yeah. All right, now, let's see who's interviewed this week for About Crew.
The director has the most demanding position on the crew, but Midstate's Molly Horst is more than up to the challenge.
Ready to fade and zoom into camera 2 with both mics and CG. Fade, zoom, mics, cue.
I am the director for Midstate. I'm also a producer for Get Real. Directing, it's a lot of pre-production stuff. I look at the scripts and I make sure that all my commands are in there so that I know what to say when it comes time to actually record.
Being director, Molly has to make sure that all of the other positions are working together in unison.
Can you have Aaron move over onto his mark?
Chat with Brooke, who's the technical director, and make sure that we're both good and she knows what we're doing, and I check in with everybody else in master and audio and on the floor and make sure we're all on the same page, and then we do the show.
There's a lot of pressure on the director, but for Molly, that's the best part of the job.
My favorite part, I think, is the adrenaline rush. Everything happens so fast. If I were to make one wrong call, that's on me. I just kind of do it and I have fun. And then after, it's just like a sense of accomplishment because we created a TV show.
And Molly hopes the experience she gains now will transfer into a career.
I picked directing because it's one of the most challenging positions. I'm training to direct right now at WEK, one of the local stations here in Peoria. And so I'm kind of taking what I'm learning here and transferring it over there.
Have a great night, and be sure to join us next week.
Fade black sounds out.
For Midstate Magazine, I'm Jenna Amico.
Thanks, Jenna.
So bringing back up the jean topic, have you ever had problems finding like the right size of pants?
No, never. I mean, I guess for guys, there's not as much pressure in terms of how they look or how they fit. So I just grab a 32, 34. Sometimes I don't even try them on. It's kind of nice.
You know, that must be really nice. I've been to probably like, there's 5 different stores I would say I shop at, and you know, some stores I'll be a 0, or like a women's store I'd have to get a petite size, and you know, there's so many different styles. Skinny jeans, boyfriend jeans, these are supposed to be baggy, these are supposed to be tight. You know?
What are boyfriend jeans?
Boyfriend jeans are like a little bit more baggy.
Okay.
So, but you know, if you
for
really,
when you have a boyfriend and it's not as...
It's not you don't, you know, those features don't need to be as prominent, I guess. But now let's go to Jackie within the Spotlight.
I'm Jackie Myers, and this is In the Spotlight. Hearts are breaking everywhere with the sad news that after 5 years, Zayn Malik is leaving the band One Direction for good. This all comes after Zayn left the world tour to recover from stress. The disappointing news came in a statement from the band's official Facebook page. Zayn cited that the departure was due to the fact that he wants to be a normal 22-year-old who is able to relax and have some private time out of the spotlight. We wish Zayn and the rest of the band the best. Do you want to own some of the star of the Mindy Project's Mindy Kaling's clothes? Well, now you can. The Mindy Project team and Mindy herself have teamed up with eBay to auction off 3 of her outfits from the show. All the money in the auction goes to the Pancreatic Cancer Action Network. Mindy lost her mother to the disease in 2012, which is why she is so excited to help support the network. The organization provides support for people with this devastating illness and their families. What a great way to give back. What do Dancing with the Stars dancer Cheryl Burke, singer Joe Jonas, and Pussycat doll Nicole Scherzinger all have in common? Well, they may all be on the new NBC show together. NBC has ordered 6 hour-long episodes of a new show called I Can Do That, which is a comedy variety series that will pin celebrities against each other while they perform skills they never even knew they had. This weekly competition is set to come out in the summer. The show I Can Do That was developed by a production company in Israel and is currently in production in more than 15 countries, including Italy, Brazil, Spain, Finland, and Mexico. We can't wait to watch. For In the Spotlight, I'm Jackie Myers.
Thanks, Jackie. So kind of bringing back up the topic of Gino Ford, the Bradley basketball's coach, no longer being employed for Bradley Sports anymore. How do you think that's going to change the face of men's Bradley's basketball?
Well, hopefully things improve. You know, I've got a lot of guys, I know a lot of guys on the team, and they're really passionate. You know, they want to do well, and some of them are graduating, some are still going to be around. And they were close to Ford, but obviously things needed to change, especially with this season. But it's amazing how much of an impact, like basketball specifically, has on like the entire institution, you know, financially, and then in terms of them bringing in kids and whatnot.
Yeah, it really even affects admissions. You know, people really want to come to a school that would have a successful sports program.
Absolutely. Can we scroll? I can't see. Hey, now I can.
I decided to get some breakfast in the daytime and a little bit of dessert. So, let's eat. The 50s Diner is a themed restaurant that is located in the metro center of Peoria, Illinois, and a family-grown business.
Well, we started with my mother and father-in-law. They opened it, and then we came in and we helped them, and then eventually just all started working here. My wife works here, both my daughters, my 2 granddaughters.
Their tasty meals and variety of menu options is what makes this diner so unique.
We do a lot of breakfast, but we also do homemade meatloaf and different comfort foods. There's some days at lunch that's all we sell is breakfast. I mean, it's just amazing. At least 60% of our business is breakfast.
Not only does this diner offer breakfast anytime you want and funnel cake without having to go to the carnival, but it has an extra amenity that allows them to get everything they need all in one location.
We also have a gift shop attached to the diner, and my daughter runs it, and we sell purses and different lockets and stuff like that over there.
They are also very flexible with their menu items.
We'll do anything if it's not on the menu or whatever. If somebody comes and wants it, we'll make it. We don't, just as long as we have the stuff here, we'll do whatever. We're just a good, fun, friendly family diner.
From Midstate Magazine, I'm Chardonnay Mason.
Thank you very much, Chardonnay. You know, Melody, places like that, personally to me, those local family diners are some of the best restaurants in the whole world.
Yes, especially for breakfast items. I'm such a huge fanatic for breakfast. Pancakes, omelets, eggs, biscuits, bacon, sides and sides of bacon. You can't go wrong with bacon with your breakfast.
And pancakes, obviously.
And pancakes, of course.
Unless
but
you're the one kid who's allergic.
Unless you're unfortunately allergic to dairy, which I don't know what I would do because I love cheese and milkshakes and ice cream.
Everything. So yeah, everyone check out that place. I mean, I would love to go.
You know, especially I love the decor as well, especially with the 50s music that's playing and the really bright colors and the decals on the wall. It looks like a very cool place to go. But let's check out with the latest music with Anna on the Beat.
I'm Anna Tassi with On the Beat. AWOL Nation is back with a second album and some of the new hits to start off this year. The band's new album, Run, was released over 2 weeks ago, and many of their fans have been dying to hear it. This album includes their latest single, Hollow Moon, Bad Wolf, which re-energized AWOL Nation's fan base. The single was released in late January, as well as their official music video. The lead singer, Aaron Bruno, wrote all the songs and wanted to switch up his music by taking this album to a whole new level. This album includes electronic rock beats for everyone to listen to. Aaron also wanted others to have a new perception on his music and get people to dance when they go to his shows. The new album includes the 2 other singles, Run and Windows. When the new single, Run, was completed, Aaron knew that the album was finally coming together. The single also includes a message from one of his best friends. While their first album, Megalithic Symphony, had a different set of tone, many AWOL Nation fans were not disappointed with this new album. For On The Beat, I'm Anna Tassi.
Thanks, Anna. You know, speaking of music, and summer coming right around the corner.
That's right.
Summer festivals such as Lollapalooza and Summerfest, those lineups have just been released, and there are some huge names. What do you think?
I am so excited. Number 1, Paul McCartney is the headliner. I think that is really, really interesting.
For Lollapalooza?
Yes, he's the headliner, like, over everything at Lolla. And I have a theory that Kanye West has never performed at Lollapalooza. Lollapalooza in Chicago, for those of you who don't know. But we'll get back into that later. But right now, let's go to Jalen and see who our special guest is this week on State of the Arts.
Hello and welcome to State of the Arts. I'm Jalen Cook. Tonight we have an alternative duo known as London Has Fallen. They consist of members Alicia Gates and Cameron Gorham. They have played all over Illinois, including the Limelight Complex, Cruisins, and the Speakeasy Arts Center. Recently, they have just signed a record deal with Independent Ear Records in Rockford, Illinois. Please welcome London Has Fallen. Cameron, Alicia, how are you guys tonight?
Good.
Awesome, awesome. We're glad to have you here. Where are you going to be performing for us?
We are going to be performing How to Love off of our album Fracture that we're going to actually re-release on April 3rd at Kate's Pie Shop in Rockford, Illinois.
How long have you been performing together?
About 2 years now.
Awesome. How'd you guys meet?
Cameron got a hold of me on Facebook and liked my vocals. He saw my YouTube videos and he wanted to produce an album for me, so we did that, and then we thought, well, hey, we're both really great musicians, so why don't we try to be a band together? So it's worked out really well.
Awesome, awesome. So you guys have any upcoming dates coming up?
We are playing on March 28th at the Kickapoo Creek Winery for the Posh Fashion Show, and we're going to be debuting our new music video for a new single off of our next album called What You Wanted. So we're excited about that.
Awesome, awesome. Well, the stage is yours, so take it away whenever you're ready then.
Thank you.
Your condescending attitude always got the best of you. Holding hands with the devil and staring straight
Well, that was fantastic, guys. Thank you so much for stopping by and sharing with us tonight.
Thank you so much for having us.
No problem, anytime. Well, that's all for State of the Arts. Join us next week. We'll hear from more talent from the Peoria area. For State of the Arts, I'm Jalen Cook.
Thanks, Jalen. So real quick, back to my theory about Lollapalooza. Paul McCartney's headlining, and Kanye West has never performed, but it's been rumored that he was going to for a long time. And I think that Kanye is going to come and perform at Lolla with Paul McCartney.
With Paul McCartney?
Yes.
That would probably be the biggest surprise Lollapalooza has probably ever had.
I would love it.
That would be
awesome.
extremely interesting, too.
Is there anybody else that's headlining or playing that you want to see?
Well, I'm a really big Summerfest fan, and I'm hoping to be able to go, but they have Kendrick Lamar as one of the big headliners and Ed Sheeran. And they're two of my, favorite songwriters, artists. So different ends of the spectrum. Ed Sheeran's a little bit more like, hard to explain, like more like mellow and
British.
Yeah, and Kendrick is more like, woo, yeah,
in your face.
Yay! Yeah, pretty much.
I think either way, it's going to be a great concert. So that's all from Midstate Magazine this week. Thanks for joining us, and we will see you all next week. My name is Ricky Hendon.
And I'm Melody Mercado, and we'll see you next week.